All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you could see, we were experiencing some technical difficulties. That's not going to stop us. So here we are today. I'm Karen. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm Karen Chuck from Oakville, Ontario, Canada. And I have been hosting series entitled 𝗵𝗔𝗍, featuring professionals from all walks of life, all countries, all background, all languages, all chose to start their global digital business. And this is really to let everyone know that there are bigger, better opportunities out there that you should explore and learn about. And today I'm very blessed for having our guest speaker here, and her name is 𝗵𝗫, and she's from Fiji, all the way from Fiji Island. So it's an honor to have her here because right now is noon, her time noon, and we're going to be hearing everything about her stories, her insights, and her recommendations for those of you who's been looking for a better way. Okay, so Coach 𝗵𝗫, is that how I pronounce your name? Did I pronounce it correctly? Okay, yes. So thank you again for sharing your time and your insights. I wanted to first start off by asking on behalf of the global audience, like, who are you? Where are you from? What's your professional background? And maybe tell us a little bit about your personal story, if you will.
Thank you, Karen. I hope I'm coming through loud and clear. I'm actually sitting in a place that's a bit noisy, and I forgot to bring my earphone. But anyways, for those of you who are watching us live for the first time, I am 𝗵𝗫 is such a long name. I am 62 years old, a grandmother, a former executive in the corporate world. I was an educator for 38 years. I am now a full-time digital business owner, and this month is my anniversary month. 3 years ago, in May 2023, I started this journey. I live in the capital city of Fiji, which is Suva, and I've just been here for 2 months. And this is the beauty about this business, that you carry it along with you wherever you go. I am a coach as well in the digital business, and I look after my global business partners who are connected all over the world. Thank you for the opportunity to be your guest this afternoon, Karen. Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. I mean, it's amazing to celebrate anniversary, and congratulations for that. There are a couple of things that you share briefly, and I wanted to, again, ask on behalf of the global audience because I'm sure they have questions about that. Number one, well, you have an amazing, successful career, former corporate executive, and you were in education. You did a lot of wonderful work. And why did you want to learn something new? Because global digital business is definitely a different field than what you were used to. So what led you to, one, think of doing something new, two, starting at the age of so can you address those questions on
Sure. Yes, very interesting question. A lot of people have asked me, why digital business now? Why start your digital business at 60 years old? First of all, you know, technology is here to stay. You know, it is really a smart way of learning and smart way of earning money. For me, being in the corporate world for 18 years, after being an educator for 20 years, I was used to being the boss, you know, because I was an executive in the company. I was given a lot of opportunities to make decisions. And in my preparation for retirement, 5 years ago, I was looking I was looking for something that I could still do, maybe new purpose, new direction. And what really pushed me harder to work on this digital business is my husband's serious health challenges. He got sick soon after retirement 11 years ago, and I knew I had to do something from home. I need to be around him. I need to spend more time with him because of his medical condition. I couldn't imagine myself working for somebody else after retirement and to leave my husband most of the time with other people at home. So basically, it was my retirement plan to go digital. Number two, for my health, I wanted to make sure that my mental health is taken care of. Yeah. I needed to continue to learn something new and have an active mind where my mind is stimulated to keep thinking, keep creating, keep grabbing new opportunities that not only would benefit me, but I can also help others benefit from. So these were, I think the circumstances that drove me to just go into digital space. And I am enjoying it. Never regretted, though I was non-tech savvy, so scared of technology, but I've learned in the past 3 years. And like, to be honest with you, Karen, this is the first time I'm actually doing live on StreamYard using my phone.
See, there's always something new that we can adopt, right? Learn and adopt.
Yes, and it's something that the business has taught me.
Yes.
The potential and the confidence to adapt.
Yeah.
And
And I love the fact that this is so mobile. Like you said, you are using your phone because I think there was internet issues or whatever. So we just pivot, right? Even though it's not in the boardroom or meeting room, it's still workable. And that's the beauty of a mobile business, a global digital business. We can be wherever, whenever, and just pick up the phone if the laptop's not available and still make things work. What intrigued me, one of the things that intrigued me the most and wanted to ask more is about your former corporate executive leadership experience. Can you give a glimpse of how your leadership portfolio was like back in the days, and just so the global audience would know, like, what kind of work did you do? What kind of strategic leadership involvement were you part of? Just so they can get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. Yes, in my job, the corporate job that I did for 18 years, I was actually a founding principal of a school. I basically started a business for a foreigner, for a foreign investor here in Fiji. So it started from the basics, from registering the company to designing curriculum, training the teachers, training the employees, reaching out to the stakeholders, attending, meetings with government officials. It was a lot of traveling, a lot of negotiations, a lot of learning where I needed to understand the policies and the regulations and the laws governing the company that I was looking after. So I was kind of jack of all trade. It was a new business when it started in Fiji in 2005. So the groundwork was not very clear. I had to design things. I had to work with the other stakeholders to look at the strategic plan, the vision. So it was tough for me because there were no blueprints. It was the first ever private English language institute in Fiji at that time. So that's how I got into this corporate world. And of course, attending conferences, reporting to board. You know, there was a board. I needed to report to the board members. Reported to the CEO of the company. There was a lot of stress. It was stressful. It was stressful. And of course, I worked for a Japanese company, and the culture is very different from our culture. But I adapted, 18 years I stayed there. So when this business opened its door for me, it was the only thing that I feared was technology. And because of the experiences that I've gained over the years as a senior corporate executive, and the ability to be persistent in what I need to achieve, I think that helped me in this business. That no matter how frightful technology was to me, I reminded myself that, hey, you did it for somebody else. You raised a company for somebody else. You've left that person with almost $1 billion worth of business company, building for somebody else. Now you are building your own. If you could do it for somebody else without clear blueprint, you have a business here that has very clear platform, very clear blueprint. All you have to do is come on board and just go through the system, and you will get there. So I had that mindset, when I came on board, and it helped me because of my experience in the corporate world.
Yes. And I was gonna say that you clearly was the right-hand lady for your former boss. You're the trailblazer. You execute everything end to end without blueprint. You reach out to stakeholders and had meeting, and basically you're it. And I would imagine your stress level was like way up there, right? Because I can imagine you not having to take on a sick day because everything depends upon you. And obviously your previous career was in education, so you had a lot of knowledge base, and you have your relationship really connected in Fiji, and that's probably one of the reasons why the Japanese boss saw your networking power, your knowledge, and your strategic experience and all that. That's why you're the jack of all trades, and kudos to you. And you just kept doing it for 18 years. You said, right? 18 years from ground zero. So if you had to just kind of think back, because before we talk about this global digital business, I think it's important for people to know where you came from, right? So if you had to give a score, 0 to 10, in terms of your stress level back then, 10 being very, very stressful every day, what would you give yourself in terms of the score?
I would give myself, I think the first, I would say the first 8 years would be 10.
Yeah.
And then later on, 9.
Yeah. So it never gone below 9, because there's constant changes, constant refinement, and there's change in the policies, and there's always something going on. There's always bombs that you have to take care of, right?
Always.
Yeah. And did you have to work long hours back in the days?
Of course.
And what are we talking about? How many hours in a week?
I worked long hours, but I never had any extra compensation for long hours.
Yeah.
It was, and I had to leave home and travel. I had to be on my toes most of the time, and it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
And for 18 years I did that. I think I only got 2 changes in my salary levels in the 18 years. When I look back and compare it with what I'm having now, it's just a big difference, big difference.
That's what I've been saying and hearing from fellow global digital business partners. If we had known like what we know, we wouldn't have done what we did, you know, because it's a lot of sacrifice, time-wise, like family-wise and health-wise. There's so much that, you know, huge toll, right? And I don't know about Fiji, what's your income tax bracket like? But in Canada, the more you earn, the more taxes you pay, you know, 56% and up, right? So I don't know about Fiji. Is it similar?
It's the same. Right? It's the same here. Yeah.
Yeah. So clearly you've got what it takes to succeed in any kind of business model. And you mentioned that because you want to be around your husband to take care of him. So you can't go with the traditional business models. But were there any business, like online business models that you assess before you decide that you're gonna settle with this global digital business model that you're with?
I never went into any business model. I mean, I used to run other traditional businesses, but for online, this is the first one that I'm doing.
Oh, and what kind of traditional did you do before?
Well, my husband and I, when we got married, we were always into real estate.
Oh, yeah.
We invested in a few properties. We invested in farm. For me, my last investment was my own hair salon. I invested in a hair salon. And it is not easy. You know, running traditional businesses, the overhead costs can be very overwhelming. Yep. You know, you need to make sure you have enough profit to be able to continue to survive. Yep. Yep. But we had a restaurant, we had a butcher. So we were into a lot of traditional businesses while we were working full-time as well. You know, my husband was an educator as well. But this business, this online business.
After COVID, a lot of traditional business, especially the real estate area, got hit really hard. Did you and your husband decide to kind of sell most of your real estate after COVID? Because a lot of people nowadays move their business online.
Well, we've sold all our traditional businesses because of the online business. You know, with our age and with what we are going through, we wanted to you know, to downsize and just enjoy our retirement, and for us to continue to run this online business because it's replenishing the savings that we've accumulated over the years. And of course, it's keeping me sane.
Yes.
Because, you know, I can still connect with people, although we are connecting online, but it is really good for our mental health.
Oh, totally.
When you meet new friends, you meet new business partners, you hear from different views from different people. It is very, very inspiring indeed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a case in point, right? If it wasn't because of global digital business, you and I don't think we would have we've never crossed paths. Fiji, even Hong Kong, Canada, I don't think so, right? So it's amazing who we end up crossing paths with.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned this is the very first global online business that you start and continue with. What led you, or what introduced you into this global digital business?
You know, like I said, in 2021, I was looking for something to do. And then I came across an interview, similar interview like what we are doing now, between my mentor and a business owner in Australia. It was a Sunday afternoon. I heard this lady who was also in her 60s at that time, that she was running this business online, and she's doing it from the comfort of her home, and she was non-tech savvy, but she's earning, you know, from the comfort of her home. So I thought to myself, and I said, oh, this is what I really want to do. You know, this is what I've been looking for. You know, be good for my mental health. I can still work from home. It's flexible, and I can earn extra income from the comfort of my home. I just got convinced, and on the same day, I reached out to my mentor. I paid my membership fee. I did my coaching call the next day. I was never in doubt that this business will work for me.
That's very how should I put it? That's very interesting, because I had the exact same experience. It's almost like when you see it, you see it. When you see a diamond, you just know that it's a diamond, and there's no if, and, or but. There's no doubt, right? But I think because of how society has more bad apples these days, and there are a lot more unrealistic promises out there in terms of business opportunities, people rightfully so has that hesitation to take that next steps. So if I don't know if your family members, your kids, your grandkids are part of this global digital business community, but if you were to share with your family and relatives, not that we have to, because the way we do our business, we don't need to share anything with anybody. What would you recommend them to consider? Because right now, like I said, a lot of people are scared of going online. They're thinking, oh, this might not be true. This could be something that's fake. How would you recommend people who is interested in looking but don't know whether it is true or not? Like, what would you tell them?
Well, that's a very good question, because a lot of people are skeptical. A lot of people think that everything online is a scam. For me personally, in my family, my son was the only skeptical one. Everyone in my family, especially my husband and my two daughters, they did not have any doubts at all about this business, because they knew, they trusted me that I would make the right decision. They knew that mom would never get herself involved in something that is illegal.
Exactly.
Because they've seen how I have, helped somebody else start a business, following the processes, registering the company, making sure that everything is legal and legit. And none of them had any doubt. But my son, because my son had lived overseas for quite a while, he has seen how some people have been scammed through online businesses. So he warned me. He said, "Mom, be careful, you might be scammed." But I just told him, I'm not going to be scammed. I know what is legit and I know what is not. So, for people who are doubting, who are skeptical, it is natural. It is normal for you to doubt. It's normal for you to be skeptical, and it's healthy as well. But you cannot be skeptical and be in doubt forever. You need to do your research. You need to carry out your due diligence. You need to ask the right questions. And that's why what I love about this business. We come out onto social media and we don't hide behind the keyboards. We share real stories. We share facts about our business. We empower people to understand how our system works, how the automated system of the business works. We share with them, when they are really serious, everything about the business. And of course, we have the same platform for everyone all over the world. It's the same playing field that we are all using here. So if you feel that maybe this is not real, well, you just need to sign up on our website. You will receive information, read the information, follow whatever is there, because the first information that you receive is free. You don't have to pay anything, right? And get yourself empowered by the information, because you will know that it is for you.
Yeah.
Right? Just like
Your gut
Karen
will
and
tell you.
ourselves.
Your gut will tell you, oh, this
Yes,
is really for me.
absolutely, absolutely. Right? You will feel it in your heart. And if you are a prayerful person, you've been looking for a solution for your problem, your financial mess, or whatever, God will open up a door. And this is
Amen.
one of the doors that God will open up for you. So it
Yes.
is up to you. It
Yes.
is up to
Absolutely.
you
To,
whether
to take the
this
next steps,
is
right?
for
Take the
you.
sign.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
You know, I jot down a couple of points I really like to circle back. I love how you said we come out openly, publicly, and transparently versus those real scammers who hide behind the keyboards and type whatever, and then take away people's precious money. Now, for us, like we have our credentials, we have our public profile, we have people who know us personally. So this is a real person, not an avatar, no AI can generate all of this. So it's so important for people to do their due diligence, like you said. Now, the first set of information is free. If people don't take free information as the next step, it's literally a gift, right? Then really they don't have a strong reason of doing a business, because maybe they're happy where they are. They just, they're relaxed and they have no concern. They don't want to earn secondary income that could essentially replace their primary income. That's totally fine, because everyone has their own choice. But people who want a better life, a better way to spend time with family, this is something that can materialize that, right? And I wanted to ask you, when you watch the patent business and compensation model, what stood out to you the most? Because for me, I will share after. But what stood out to you the most? That just
Can you repeat the question, Karen?
Oh, I said when you watch the patent business and compensation model, what stood out to you the most? As a strategic, experienced businesswoman.
Oh my gosh. When I watched that video on the compensation plan, it was mind-blowing, because you really then know your worth, how the company values us. And I look back into my old job, and I'm saying to myself, oh my gosh, I'm not even paid an extra dime when I work an extra hour in my business. When I make, I'm helping the company rake in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in revenue a year, I still get the same salary.
Yep.
And I just feel that this business really values us, because it is just unbelievable how you can earn so much just from one sale, just one business that you close, just one business deal, just one contract that you sign, the high ticket contract that you sign with a new business partner. It's amazing. You actually feel that you are worth what you receive, because you put in the effort. You are rewarded for your effort. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, I leave home early in the morning to catch a flight to go to the other side of the country or to go to the other side of the world, and not even insured. No, should something happen to me, my company doesn't value me. But in this business, not only is the compensation plan, the other benefits, the other income streams are mind-blowing. And I am blessed. That's what I can say, that I am blessed. We are blessed.
We are very blessed. We're very blessed, because we're not just talking about one stream of income here. There are multiple streams of income. And a lot of people would ask, well, why can't you just tell me how the business model goes? Well, I wanted to just share with everybody that this business is patent. And the way every global digital business partner gets compensated is in a very ingenious, innovative way. So for everyone, including both of us here, who's been conditioned and trained the traditional way, it takes a couple of hours for us to really watch, learn, rewatch, and then digest and understand what exactly this model is like. I mean, I don't know about you, but I watch 5-6 times just to let it kind of sink in. And when it's sunk in, I'm like, whoa, this is amazing. And no other compensation model had I ever seen like in my life, you know? And that's why I think a lot of people, because they're not familiar with the unfamiliar, that's why the first reaction is like, oh, I don't know if I could do it, or I don't know if this is true. I don't, all that. And that's no different than AI, right? I'm in AI, so it's no different than AI, and no different than how you did your former corporate strategic leadership work, which is there's no blueprint, but you can still make things work. The difference here is that there's a solid blueprint for all of us to learn step by step from ground zero and all the way up. And you mentioned that you're not tech savvy and you didn't know all of this, and this is all start building from ground zero. Now, fast forward now, who are your fellow global digital business partners? Are they in Fiji? Are they in different countries? Like, what are their background like? Do you mind to share with the global audience?
Well, my current business partners, most of them, I have business partners in Asia, in Mongolia. I have business partners in UK, in the USA, in Australia, in New Zealand, here in Fiji. Most of them are women. A couple of them are retirees. I have a few young people, which I am so happy about, trying to change the mindsets of our young people, that they need to do this, so that they can build up a secure business as they grow older. So they are a few stay-at-home moms, and from every walks of life.
Yes.
Those who are attracted and who are willing to learn and want to transform their lives. Yes.
And is it fair to say that majority of them found this business because they were either looking for more time, more presence with their family, and more financial freedom down the road? As you said, because in a corporate world or in any job, there's a cap to how much we could earn. But here, there's no cap to how much we could earn. That's the difference, right?
Exactly.
And then right now, you're 3 years in to this global digital business. Do you have any plan of teaching your grandkids in advance, like how this global digital business work and all of that? And are your family members also part of your team?
Yes, I have my husband who is part of my team. I also have my sister, my younger sister in New Zealand, who is also part of my team. And I have a few relatives as part of my team, but 95% of my team members were strangers to me before the business. I never knew them. They were not known to me.
Oh, okay.
95% of them.
Wow.
Now we are family because we are in the same team, and I just love all of them, and I just love to help them in their business. Yeah.
Well, without giving away too much to the global audience, you said 95% are total strangers. So how on earth did they get connected to you? Now, without giving out too much of the secret sauce, leveraging social media, right?
Absolutely. Just leveraging social media, just being consistent, just build that trust, and just be yourself, just be authentic when you share your stories, and just love what you're doing. I'm enjoying this business. I'm enjoying the journey in this business. And I think that is seen, people see it through me, and they want to, they are attracted to what I do because I just love it. I love this business.
So obviously there's always good, bad, and the ugly, right? So the good part we already said about the upsides of this business. What about the bad and the ugly? What are some of the bad and ugly bad and ugly of managing this business?
Oh, the bad and ugly for me would be the scammers. You know, there are people using my name, using my face, my photos to scam others. And it was very bad in the last 2 years, I would say. And because of my public image here, because of my involvement in the government here in Fiji, sit on one of the top government boards, when the scammers used my photo and my name, unfortunately, people lost money because of that business. So that to me was one of the, and it continues to be a challenge for me to try and create awareness among my followers that the business I do is very different. It's, you know, we don't send money directly to people. That is to me the worst or the ugliest part of this online business for me. But the truth will always win. You know, I always advocate every time I go on live or I post on Facebook, I make sure I create this awareness among my followers that the business I do is legitimate. And that we don't ask people to send money. It's not a get-rich-quick business. You need to put in your effort. You need to spend time on your business. The other thing, sometimes I can really struggle with my time management because of the work that I do here with the government and, of course, with my husband's healthcare and all that. But I love the business because of its flexibility. You know, I am not being pressured to meet deadlines. You know, I am actually, you know, I breathe in, I relax, and I just remind myself that it's a flexible business. Right? When you are free, then you can check your business. Other things, I think, the other thing that I would say is an ugly thing in this business is when I see my people coming on board and then they forget their whys. They forget why they've started their business. So it's always a mindset issue that I try to, you know, to encourage, and I encourage my team that, you know, our journeys are different, but our goal is the same. We all want to achieve financial freedom, financial security, and independence, and we want to become better versions of ourselves. So mindset can sometimes be a hindrance when on your down days, but I'm so glad because when you have got a good community, you know, inspiring community, and business partners all over the world who reach out to you and they see something good in you that they want to take from you or learn from, that is always an inspiration for me. It motivates me to see that even when I feel down on certain days and someone reaches out to me because he or she wants to have a life like what we are doing now, it really brightens up my day because this is why I want to do this business. It is to make a difference and to support others grow in the business.
Yes. And I love how iron sharpens iron, right? And we're all growing, thriving together. And it's a very good and unexplainable feeling because we all long to be part of a good, growing, like-minded community. And this community offers exactly that, right? So I wanted to ask the follow-up question. you are now at a level where you have a global team from all over the world, and you are gaining a very lucrative commission from the company. What is your imminent and end goal? Do you have a goal in mind that you wanted to achieve, let's say, within the next 5 years? Or no, you're no longer following the good old corporate way of doing things? You know how back in the corporate days we'll be like, okay, what's your next 3-5 years plan? Map it out, right? What's your roadmap, right? So in this business, yes, it's very flexible. We pluck it wherever and whenever we can. But do you still have like a subtle hope or dream or target that you wanted to reach within a certain time frame?
Oh, of course, I'd love to, right now I'm one of my accounts is on the highest level, and the other two are just like 1 or 2 ladders down. I hope in the next 2 years, I will be able to achieve the position where I don't have to do a lot of posting, but I do a lot of coaching and traveling, and encouraging my team to come up to the level that I will be in 2 years' time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, last but not least, for people who are sitting on the fence, really not sure if this is something they should dive into, what would you advise them to do?
Well, procrastination is a thief of time. You are watching this because it's an opportunity that God has opened up for you. Stop overthinking. Nothing changes if you don't take action. And action takers go very far in life. You need to believe in yourself. If you have been praying, if you have been searching for a solution to your current financial or family issues, I've met a lot of women who miss their children, young mothers. They have to go to work, but they are looking for something that would allow them more time to be with their loved ones, with their children especially. This is an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So I am encouraging you. If I am a non-tech savvy person who started her business at 60 years old, those of you who are much younger, and those of you who are my age and have retired, this is something that you should definitely consider. It's good for your health. It's good for your finances. It's good for your children. And it's a legacy that you can leave behind for them. And when you leave, your grandchildren and children will thank you for making that decision and taking action to come on board and be part of this successful online business. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much, well said. And allow me for one more. People often say, okay, this is a business, so do I have to have capital to invest in this business? Then what's your answer?
Of course you have to. Every business in the world needs a capital.
Mm-hmm.
There is no business that starts without a capital.
Excellent.
The only business that even if you do trading on the stock exchange, you have to have a lot of money to do trading.
Yep.
So for every business, if you feel that every business online doesn't need a capital, you have to think again. Hello,
yep, totally.
Every business, you need to spend money to make more money.
That's right. That's right. So, otherwise, you have to put sweat equity, which may not even translate into money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on our global live chat series. You've shared a lot of insights, a lot of value added feedback and advices. We truly, truly appreciate you. And I hope that we'll get to meet up at the next meetup sometime so that we can chat more about life and this global online business journey. And until then, I will, on behalf of the global audience, like to thank you for your time, for your insights and everything that you share with us. We really, really appreciate you. So for everyone who's watching live or watching replay, we thank you. And we want you to take the next steps. And if you're curious about how to learn more, you can go to my website if you got led to this live chat, or you go to Coach 𝗵𝗫𝗍𝗍's website if you got led to this live chat. Okay, either way, you will still find your free information. That's the first step. Okay, take action, find out for yourself, and your gut will tell you whether this is something that's worth digging into further. Until then, delay no more, because procrastination is the thief of time. All right, take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.